Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better. That's from another famous Irishman, Samuel Beckett. In this data breach response series, I've said many times that a data breach is inevitable. That is why having a culture of continuous improvement in relation to learning from incidents is critical to the success and future of your organization. And that is the topic for this data response video. Capture, configure, and communicate. This is what you need to do in respect of the pieces of learning that you acquire as you progress through the life of the company. All the more so in respect of the incident response team, picking up on things that can improve information security. So what do we mean by that? Capture means that you have to have a system, a reliable system, where you can immediately capture things that are important for you to remember and to implement in respect of your InfoSec response. Something that is immediately available where you can just take a note of it quickly and then deal with it later. The dealing with it later is the configure part. This is where you can consider the pieces of information that you gather as you're going from task to task, and then configure them into a sequence of priority and make sure that they're implemented in respect of your InfoSec response and planning. And then communication. Communication across the team, across the organization. The best InfoSec defense is people. But the response cannot be of one person alone. You need to find a way of building institutional memory. And the way of doing that is to make sure that there are proper processes, procedures, and policies documented. And that there is a way of keeping these updated, reviewed, and communicated across the organization. So you have the brains of many working towards InfoSec defense, as opposed to the will of one. So moving on from that, what do we mean by continuous improvement, and how do we achieve it? There are three elements to this. The first element is to make sure that you have an effective monitoring system in place. This means that you are constantly testing, assessing, and analyzing your InfoSec policies, management, and your infrastructure to make sure that it is robust, resilient, and reliable. You want to make sure that when a response happens, that there are the best defenses available that you could have planned in advance. This means setting up a testing team to do spot checks, maybe some desktop planning scenarios. But it also means that you have to have a means of evaluating the feedback that you get from that cycle. You want to create a virtuous feedback loop where you are testing, training, assessing, receiving inputs, receiving responses, and from that learning and improving and documenting so that things continuously progress. The second element is to look to your peer community. Look in terms of certifications that are relevant to you and the updates to those certifications to make sure that your knowledge is always current. Look to keeping yourself up to date in respect of threat awareness reports. Link in and tie into peer professionals in other organizations so that you can learn from their experiences, and from those collective experiences help to make your own systems more robust and sharing that intelligence among the people within your own organization. And the third element is incident report and analysis. Learning from the incidents that occur within your own organization will give you very specific intelligence about things that need to be improved. So when you've gone through a complete data breach response cycle, you may breathe a huge sigh of relief and believe that that is all. But that is only the beginning. At that point in time, you have to ask yourself the critical questions in a post-mortem exercise to make sure that you understand what went wrong, understand the responses to that, what worked, what didn't work, what could work better, and to build those learnings into a continuous improvement cycle so that the incident response plan and the incident response team will be even better on the next occasion. There will always be failure when it comes to data breach. That is because data breach and security incidents are inevitable. The goal should be to improve, to fail better, as it were, so that each successive failure is de minimis and ultimately inconsequential.